Let's kick off another week with a full dose of absolutely wild, god-level geometry nodes experiments from creators all over the world, from the ongoing Nodevember challenges to fresh tools and R&D demos. We're starting with Gaussian splats. They're not officially supported in Blender yet, but as always, if you're good with geometry nodes, everything is just a few nodes away. And here, Cartesian Caramel proves it again by rendering 4D Gaussian splats entirely inside Blender using nothing but a custom GN setup. Blender is an incredible piece of software, but development is getting tougher. If we want to keep seeing features like these become native instead of hacks and experiments, more of us need to support the Blender Foundation directly. So if you can, head over to blender.org and chip in whatever fits your budget. It keeps the lights on and it keeps this amazing tool moving forward. When he's not busy rendering Gaussian splats, he's out here cooking up physics-based animation tests. The first time I saw something like this was in the recent Unreal Engine update, where you get these guided physics simulations. You animate the main motion, and the physics engine handles all the secondary movement on top. It saves a ton of time. What Cartesian Caramel is doing here isn't exactly the same, but it feels like the perfect starting point. He has a bus following a curve, something anyone can do in Blender, but then he layers physics on top of it, turning the whole thing into a full-on roller coaster. I have no idea how he even pulled that off. And of course, he did it all inside geometry nodes. Now let's check in on Nodevember Challenge. We're already 17 days into November, which means 17 prompts should be done by now. If you're new to Nodevember, it's basically a month-long ritual where artists push themselves to create something procedural every single day, all following the same prompt list. It's not limited to Blender either. Anything node-based is fair game. Day one was pumpkin, then fire, ice, bouquet, feather, and so on. You can look at the full list below. What makes this challenge special is the mix of artists who join in. Different backgrounds, different skill levels, different software, so you end up seeing 100 completely unique interpretations of the same idea. And honestly, my favorite part is when they include breakdowns. Seeing how someone builds a procedural asset from scratch is insanely inspiring. If you ever need to take a break from doom scrolling, diving into these Nodevember posts is one of the best ways to reset your brain. Most add-ons these days are basically geometry nodes wrapped in a nicer UI. They can be anything from simple quality of life setups to full-on complex tools, like whatever Mitinen is cooking up here. I've been following the development of this road destruction system closely, especially since I've built my own version too, which you can grab inside the Everything Pack add-on, by the way. He's also adding animation to the collapsing pieces. I'm not sure if it's just smart instance transforms or if there's some kind of lightweight simulation happening under the hood, but I doubt it needs to be anything too complex. What stands out is the level of detail he's packing into every fragment. Makes me wonder how heavy it gets in a real scene and what the performance trade-offs look like when everything is instanced and animated at this scale. When you only speak English, you end up missing out on hundreds of incredible artists from other parts of the world, like Nabisho. He works in advertising, but he also does these wild experimental geometry nodes projects, including this fluid-style setup where he simulates a river made of particles, fully textured and flowing downstream. He was also part of the team behind an animated billboard project, so he's not just doing cool experiments, he's using this stuff in real production work too. Back to add-ons. Here's another one I've been featuring in these demo videos for a while, and it's finally out. Sanctus Viz. It's basically a big collection of geometry node setups that generate procedural objects like bags, tables, roof shingles, tiles, procedural walls, tiling patterns, wooden floors, all already set up with materials. I haven't tried the add-on myself yet, so I'm not sure the materials are image-based or fully procedural. But considering it's made by the same developer behind Sanctus Materials, which is a massive library of purely procedural shaders, I'd bet most of the materials in Sanctus Viz are procedural too, maybe with a few textures mixed in where needed. Oh, and I've also been updating my looped clothing add-on. I've added a bunch of textured clothes nodes now, and I made it way easier to swap out materials so you can change the look of any outfit in seconds. At this point, it's not even just looped clothes anymore. I should probably rename it to something like Cloth Library 2 or something along those lines. Anyway, if you need a quick way to drop animated clothing into your scene without doing any sims yourself, go check it out. Before we close out, let's take one more look at some renders from the Nodevember challenge. I really like the zip prompt. Specula's version is this zipper that opens in a spiral, creating a continuous loop of animation. The mechanics behind it are super clever, and you can actually see how everything works in the project files he shared. Then there's this gorgeous close-up from Constantine. easily my favorite of the bunch. It's not just the geometry nodes setup, the materials and textures are doing half the heavy lifting. He even added a viewport render so you can see the opening and closing effect in real time, which makes it even more impressive. For day 4, the prompt was bouquet, and CG Matter came in with a procedural sunflower setup that's honestly wild. He also included a nice breakdown showing how he built the whole thing node by node. Another take on the bouquet challenge came from Kamarai 3D, who made an endless loop of flowers spawning and blooming. He used a lot of ambient occlusion and layer weight to push those rich colors, and the result looks beautiful. I've also released a few add-ons myself that you might want to check out. Tools built to make Blender workflows faster, more creative, and a lot more fun. Looped animated clothes, a collection of clothing assets with built-in wind animations that you can drop straight into your scenes. Each piece is easy to customize with a simple material setup and tools that help you quickly fit them to any character. The goal was to make animated clothing effortless. No simulation, no hassle, just plug and play. I'm also adding fully textured outfits almost every day, so the library keeps growing. Whether you're making cinematic shots or stylized characters, if your character needs fashion, I've got you covered. You can also get the Everything Pack, which bundles all my generators and tools in one place. This pack includes some of my personal favorites, like the Debris tool, which makes it super easy to scatter debris around any object, perfect for adding realism and storytelling to your scenes. And here's the cool part. If you've made your own generators or downloaded others from somewhere else, you can add them into the Everything Pack. All you need is the .blend file and a thumbnail image, and they'll appear right inside the library, ready to use. From my pack, you'll get tools like the Destroyed Building Generator, perfect for post-apocalyptic or war-torn scenes, the Fireball or Sun Generator, the Debris Pile Generator, the Destroyed Road Generator, the Tornado Generator, and even a Missile Projectile Generator. And I'm still adding more. New generators are in the works, all focused on speeding up creativity and helping you build complex effects and scenes without starting from scratch.